Go.
Anthropology Violet Lecture. Who here has seen a romantic comedy or read a romance novel or even met a special someone and felt that tag of the romantic love? Most of you, but maybe not all. Just how universal is this notion of romantic love? Any idea where anthropologists has identified romantic love in almost very human culture? For instance, one recent study showed that 1/4 out of 166 cultures has some form of romantic love. That suggests that romantic love is a lived partner. Biologically based, there are also a social science to romantic love, which is there I'm going to begin today.
Anthropologists describe romantic love as a high-intensity social ritual, a ritual being a prescribed form of conducting a formal ceremony. Now this may seem surprising because we aren't usually aware of following any kinds of rules when we fall in love, but in fact falling in love does have the four major characteristics of a ritual. The first characteristic of a ritual is that it brings people into face-to-face contact. Clearly, romantic love does this. People who are in love want to spend as much time together as possible. The second characteristic of a ritual is that it focuses people's attention on some common object or activity. With romantic love, the common object is the couple itself. For people in love, other people and activities seem to fade away.
Now, the third characteristic of the ritual is it promotes a mutual emotion among of the participants. Obviously, romantic love quantities here. Few the other experience can surpass in an intensive. That is why romantic love is described as a high-intensity ritual. The final characteristic of the ritual is that they produce an emotionally charged symbol that represents membership in the same group. Well, what are some of the symbols in romantic love? In the Western culture, love is associated with heart-shaped objects and rings. For instance, a wedding ring symbolizes the couple love and commitment. And we all know how important these symbols can be. For instance, losing a ring, for example, can cause a lot of anxiety, so be careful with those symbols.
Now let's look at what is happening in your brain, in your body, when you feel the emotion that we call romantic love. Recent research indicates there is a biological basis to love, so there is a good reason why people in love feel as if they are in different and more beautiful world. Their brain is literally flooded by hormones and chemicals that cause them feel the way they feel. We can break the process and feeling the love into three fairly distinct phases based on the hormones and chemicals dominate in each phase.
In the first phases, the hormones testosterone and estrogens play important role. Although testosterone has a reputation as a male hormone, it is also present in women, and it has many effects on the brain. One of which is to make us seek partner and to be alert to the presence of possible partners. So in essence, these hormones get us out looking for and then noticing prospective partners to fall in love with.
It's in the second phase where people have the feeling of being in love. Here, some powerful amphetamine are released into the brain. Amphetamine are a kind of stimulant, right? They make us feel alert. Well, two of these amphetamines are dopamine and phenylethylamine, also known as PEA. Dopamine has a physical effect on our body. It increases our heart rate and blood pressure and seems to make us more talkative. It also has a powerful psychological effect, invoking feeling of pleasure and excitement, and it enhances our emotional responses to things.
The other chemical released in the phase is the PEA. PEA is a neurotransmitter, which means it increases the electrical signal between the neurons in the brain. This makes us feel euphoric. It's the chemical that makes us smile a lot when we are first in love and feel like we are in some kind of heavenly world. But because our body developed a tolerance to PEA, the euphoric feeling graphical despair.
And that brings us to the final phase of love, which is concerned with longer lasting commitment and attachment. The first important compound in this stage is endorphin. Endorphins are natural painkillers that give us a sense of security and feelings of peace and calm. They basically improve our mood. Our brain also secretes hormones that play a role in the formation of social attachment. One such hormone is oxytocin, sometimes called the cuddle chemical. Oxytocin seems to produce the feelings of relaxed satisfaction and attachment to another person.
Now, as you might imagine, there is some resistance to the idea of love being determined by brain chemistry and hormones. Do you know where this resistance might come from?